Okay. How are you, people? Alright, part 4, which has now got some inclusions because, I responded to someone who made a comment called Cool Hand Luke on Twitter and responded to him that, you didn't really, should do some research, but the Guru Deception's back out there, guys. The trolls are at it, or whoever. I don't care, alright? It's been done before, alright? Already been debunked. And as I've said to little Cool Hand Luke, who's accusing me of having charitable entities that I'm involved with and all this other bullshit, that I'm quite willing to have you on a show with Pat King, who I work with at Real Deal Media, RDM Studios, where the hit piece was done on me. Why? Because they wanted to turn on Pat King and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. So he hunted down a bloke over here in Australia, all right, who was in court and has an AVO because he assaulted my wife, 110 kilo bloke picking on a 45-year-old woman. That's the sort of bloke that you got for your actual fucking information, all right? 110 kilo boy, fucking cage fighter. And he fucking picks on my fucking wife and assaults her. Ends up in court. So that's the sort of credibility your little fucking Guru Deception's got, Luke. Okay, and as I said, quite willing, mate. You fucking jump on a show. I'll ring Pat King tomorrow or today and fucking have him on a show, bloke, and bring it on. Let's put the truth out there. You want to go spreading misinformation? Do some research, bloke. Right? Do some research. Okay? So, we got a few things going on out there, guys, all right? And I said I'd do a conclusion today, and I will. Okay? And the conclusion will be just on what I know about the freedom movement and what my opinion would be in, moving forward. And it's pretty simple, okay? Pretty simple. You got someone up there, Scotty Shalcal. Brilliant, mate. Absolute brilliant guy up there in Queensland. I think that he would be the great guy to keep the momentum going, as he has been, guys. All right, him and others. All right, and go for it. Because I think he's a solid bloke. So I reckon you Queenslanders ought to get behind Shalcal. All right, and let it be known that, in my opinion only, guy's a legend, mate. He's on the right track. He's unadulterated. He hasn't been in the movement long. And he's here for the right reasons. You can tell. So, Queensland. You ain't going to have too many problems up there, I don't think. You guys are going to go pretty well. Because you got someone there that you can follow, can listen to, and can take his advice. Because the guy switched on. Melbourne. I don't know what you guys are going to do down there. They're talking about everyone going down to Melbourne and taking Melbourne back. I think that's a good idea, but could people afford to do that? I don't know. Could they? So, we got to think of travel, we got to think of accommodation and what the general purpose of, going to Melbourne would be, guys, But look, and I'm into anything that the people want to do, and I'll promote anything that the people want to do. It's as simple as that, right? That's what our channel's about, channel of the people. So what you saw on the weekend was part of a power play in the background, and I think God just went a little bit further maybe on the weekend with that rally than what we asked him to do, which was just take all the controversy out of the Sydney one, Lord, and show us what to do. Okay, and I believe that, as I said, there wasn't that many speakers going to be there yesterday. Mick Griffith turned up at the vigil for Charlie Kirk the night before, and so did John Larder, and then hung around and got on stage to speak. So there wasn't that many speakers organised as I can work it out, guys. So, I was happy to speak up there, and I was very, very happy to get Donna up there, who'd done a magnificent job from the Corruption Whistleblower. All right, the newspaper. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So, Sydney, I'll talk about at the end. So, Melbourne, there's a power play, and in, there's a bit of a power play going on down in Melbourne. You got Harrison, who's been doing this for, a while. And now you've got some other players. I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, I'm having no opinions here on anyone, guys. All right, I'm just telling you what's going on. Okay, so you have some people who would like to get hold of and look, I would presume for all the right reasons. A few of them, because I know them, I think quite well. For the right reasons, would like to, congregate the Australian freedom movement and get things happening in each state, as I understand it from my conversations, okay? So that side of things did also involve Tricky. Now, I wasn't happy about that. Reason being, I don't talk about people, but I have my own assumptions, you know what I mean? And I don't like grifters, all right? I just don't. You know what I mean? And I think people, from what we saw there on the weekend, again in Brisbane, okay, we saw what the whole idea was about, okay? Didn't seem to be about government corruption, it seemed to be about selling merch and getting some donations. So Tricky's shot himself in the foot. So don't worry about Queensland, all right, because it will roll on because the people are there and you have a good guy like Scotty up there, okay? So the other side of these rallies, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I don't know, Tricky's involvement is going to be much good at all. I don't think many people will return to the rally unless Tricky comes out and, has a fucking good excuse for, how he acted up there and how he reacted. But that's up to Tricky. Well, I'm not here to run him down, all right? He plays his own play, like we all do out there. Hey, Luke, we all play our own play, mate. So, South Australia I don't know much about, but I do know that Johnny Q, and who I've had my disagreements with in the past, okay. But yeah, look, Johnny and the other guys down there stood up well. I know there's a bit of a power play going on down there in South Australia too with, I think it's a guy called Mark Ulrich or something, you know what I mean? So there's things going on down there where, we've got this time, it's going everywhere, guys, every city, right, it's happening in. Okay, but as I said to you, all you're doing is, God's just cleaning out the wheat from the chaff, okay? And, you're going to get people coming at you, persecuting you, just like I've been copping all night since I made a comment, you know what I mean? Like, and then I got up this morning and thought I'd return the message to him. And so, we've had a few back and forths, and he's posted up the guru deception and, he thinks he's on a roll. Well, good on you. Get on a roll, man. All right, because there's a different role that I'd like to see the Australian people on. All right, and that is a role to the future. All right, we got this digital ID coming up, and we got to gather up, guys, because we got to make some real ground. All right, and let these guys know it ain't happening. Okay, we don't want to get to where it got to overseas when they shut down their social media, and even though the youth done a very, very good job over there and were very calculated, gave up all the guns to the army, got the army on their side, very, very smart moves. Okay, we don't want to see Australia come to that, guys, so we need to come together and do something. So Western Australia I don't know a lot about again, but I know that there's good people over there, people like Pip and the guy the sidewalk something. These people are doing great stuff. All right, so Western Australia, I don't really know too much about you. Northern Territory, I don't know a great deal about you. Okay, but Sydney, what I'd like to say to the Sydney people, because this is where I am, okay, is that, and this probably goes right across the movement, guys, all right, and I'll finish it with this. You ride your own wave, okay? You're going to be riding it with a lot of other people, but guess what? You get to pick how you ride your wave, okay? And this is a massive wave coming, guys. We know that, all right? Charlie Kirk was like dropping a big, in a wave pool, just dropping it from a height, man, and creating one big set that's on the way. We've already seen it starting to, come together. So we are going to be riding a huge wave, guys, all right? And we're going to have some backwash. Some backwash from some anti-people that don't agree with what we may believe is the corruption of the government and the takedown of our country. So we're going to have some opposition, most of them paid. This is how they do it, guys, all right? So what I would say is that you are going to see a lot more going on of what I've been copping off, old mate, on Twitter. Okay? Because that's what's going to go on. You got to understand, guys, that this, and I know most of you do, this is a spiritual war. Okay? And when you go out doing the right thing, right, and making a difference, demons jump. They hate it. I've seen it many a time. Walked in and, just watch people's demons go off, mate. All right? Because when you go in and you're walking with the Lord, okay, you have a certain persona. You know what I mean? And demons know it. Not everyone might see it, but the demons see it, guys, and this is a spiritual war. So walk with the armour of God. Get ready for some rough times, because that's what's coming up. But remember, you're here to ride your own wave. No one's to push you on that wave. Someone might drop in on you. All right, but you need to take off where you want to take off. And you need to go where you need to go on that wave. All right? So, to everyone out there in Australia, get into it, guys. Get ready. Wax up your board. All right? Get ready. Because the wave's here. You just got to take off on it. But don't let anyone tell you how to ride your wave. All right? But be there to ride it with everybody. Everybody. All right? So, that's all I'd like to say, guys. I think from here we go forward, and we go forward in a great motion in Australia. But there will be some cleaning out to be done along the way. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just going to let everything play out, okay? Because it's playing out how? Just how God wants it to play out. That's what I believe. So, in the words of Hoodie, in my ear, last week, peace, people. We need peace amongst us. And with peace, we can move forward. With all the bullshit that's going on now, okay, it's just what we got to go through. But very soon, guys, you're going to see it all to come together. So each state, pick up your mantle, pick up your cross, get behind the people that you believe in, and make sure that their rallies, individual people that are there speaking, doing the control of it, all right, give them the support they need. If you are not in favour with what's going on at a rally, well then attend it and stay out of the way. Or, I say everyone attend every rally, you know what I mean? All these fucking false flag guys that are fucking trying to get in and do this and do that, and put out their posts that they own the rally and, this, that and the other. And I'm talking about, Sewell and the fucking boys. Just don't worry about them, guys. You want to go to a rally, go to a rally. Okay? But just make sure that the people that you're listening to and the people that, are directing you forward in some way have actually got the character, all right, that you would like to see to go forward. Okay? And that's what it's all about, guys. All right? If you're going to listen to anyone, make sure they got character. Make sure they stand up for what they believe in. Okay? And make sure that that your thoughts align with theirs. And I'm sure we're all going to be fine, guys. All right? So let's get on the wave. Let's go. Hope to see you all out there in the ocean in the takeoff spot. And, yeah, I'll be out there with you, ripping it apart. Good night. Oh, goodbye. See you, Australia. Love you guys.